So ladies, this is a video that you have to watch because it's about how to stop your man wanting to spend more time with his friends than he does with you. So there are two things you need to stop doing and two things you need to start doing. So hey, my name's Tony V from the 10-10 movement, helping you get areas of your life that are struggling at the moment to be more successful, how to live a more 10 out of 10 life experience. Yeah, so exactly how do you stop your man wanting to spend more time with his mates than he does with you? Well, look, for starters, men and women different, very, very, very different. And if you ask me, what's the one thing men want more than anything else, which I promise you, if you try and control this, he will be spending more time with his mates. So the one thing he wants more than anything is freedom. Do you remember the old film, where Mel Gibson played the Scottishman? You know, they can take our lives, but they cannot take our freedom, and they all run and got killed. Well, most of them anyway. But so did the other side. So look, here's the thing: freedom is huge to men. Now, you might go, yeah, but look, he's got loads of freedom. Look, the thing is, it's not about freedom in the sense of he wants to do what he wants to do. He wants the freedom to choose. Now, this is not something that comes from the head. I promise you, it doesn't come from the head. He's not thinking this. It's like an innate part of the masculine human male being, yeah? That inside, from ancient times, he needed the power to be free to choose. And what he really wants, ultimately, he wanted the freedom to choose so that he could keep his woman and his family safe. So he'd choose, what cave are we going to live in? How could I guard this cave? How could I keep my woman and my children safe from all the marauders and the animals and all of that sort of thing? So this is not a head part, it's not a modern part, it's an ancient part that's inside of all of men, I promise you. Now, if we go against that, he will have his energy go down. So if you try and control your man in any way, look, I've asked many, many people, look, this is true for women as well. If I say, who here, to a bunch of men, likes being controlled, trust me, not one will ever put his hand up. So the first thing you have to stop is you have to stop trying to control him. And what that looks like is you have to stop two key things. One would be telling him what to do. If you tell a man what to do, I promise you that inside of him, he will want to do the opposite. He just doesn't like being told what to do. And this is true of all men, all proper male men. Now, some men have got so weak, they're more feminine than masculine. And trust me, those sorts of men, women leave them on droves because they don't feel safe with a more feminine man. So if he's been beaten down and started doing what he's told, he then becomes way less attractive. So then you don't want to be with him. So we have to get the balance right. We have to get this balance right. We have to stop telling him what to do because it stabs right in the heart of his man energy. And he will go, look, I always use the car analogy. If you're driving with a man and you tell him that he's going too fast, trust me, the number one thing he's likely to do is go faster. That's how it affects him. So look, you're not going to be able to control that. You can get angry with him, you can tell him anything you like, but trust me, he'll want to go and spend time with his mates rather than with you if you consistently do that. So we have to stop telling him what to do. Now we also have to stop criticising him. If you criticise your man, just be honest. Have you ever criticised your man? Every time you criticise your man, you might as well stick a knife in his male energy. That will have him going out with his mates faster than anything else because he'll go, do you know what? All he really wants to do is to make you happy. And when you criticise him, that is a sign that he is not making you happy. And in the end, he gives up. He just gives up. And going with his mates, he doesn't get that. So he feels better with his mates than he does with you. So stop telling him what to do and stop criticising him. And sometimes when you think you're not criticising him, you might be. So if you keep giving him helpful suggestions, trust me, that's a criticism in a man's world. So you just have to stop, because it's never going to work. If I can't remember who said it now. The first sign of madness is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. So the more you criticise, the more you tell him what to do, the more he's going to go with his mates. So you have to find a different way. So there are two things you have to do. And it's sort of almost like the opposite. Firstly, you need to tell him he is a great man. You need to tell him how he makes you feel. Don't tell him he makes you feel, rubbish. Build him up. We talk about putting him on, Nelson's column. He's your man. You chose to be with him. So tell him how amazing he is, how wonderful he is, and all of that stuff. And trust me, he'll want to come home from the pub. He'll want to come home because he wants you to put him on a pedestal. Now, I appreciate men need to step up. I am the first to tell men, you have to step up. You have to be a great man. So it's not all down to you women. I'll be telling the men, what they need to do. But from a woman's viewpoint, if you tell him what you appreciate, what you adore, what you admire about him, he will come home. He will spend more time with you. And the other big thing that you can do is ask him for help. Men love to solve problems. Give him a problem, let him solve it. When he's solved it, tell him how great he is. You're proud to have him as your man because you fixed that. You are amazing. That will have him coming home because he wants to be with that woman that wants to be with him and admires him and adores him and puts him on that pedestal. So, ladies, I know it's hard. I will be giving the men, trust me, just as much jip for what they need to do so that you are smiling, happy, loving, caring, giving in this relationship. But there you go, that's what we need to do. So if you got something from this, if you're struggling with your man and you noticed you're doing these two things but not doing those two things, then you know what to do now. If you know other women, because we know there's a bit of a sisterhood out there. Do you know a woman who's struggling right now? Share the video with her, because honestly, I promise you, modern women don't know this stuff. I always say we were never taught it at school, and we all keep doing the same thing in relationships. Why so many relationships aren't working right now. Divorces by the thousand every week, relationships breaking down, children in divorce situations. It's all horrible when it doesn't need to be. So if you got something from that, please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell, because we make videos every week and you'll get notified and you can hopefully get something good from them. And if you are interested in more videos about like the whole of your life, things that you might be doing that you don't know, down the bottom, the next video is going to give the opportunity to learn more about other areas of your life other than just your relationship life. And at the top will be another relationship video to help you understand more about each other and how we can move together and have wonderful relationships, as opposed to butt up against each other and lose that loving energy that we also want to experience. So from me, Tony V, from the 1010 Movement, see you next time. Bye for now.